Hello, everybody. Welcome. Teresa Shaver here from the BACD. I'm here with my colleague Ashley. So we both welcome you here to one of the final sessions of Do It in Durham this year. And we're so excited. It's been a great week for us. It was wonderful to celebrate the entrepreneurs that are in our community. This is really what this is about: coming together, learning, connecting with new people, finding investment, finding resources, and things that you need for your business. So one of the best ways to recession-proof yourself as a business owner is to build your skill set, to learn, and to really grow yourself. And that's not me coming up with that saying. That's Warren Buffett, who said, how do we protect ourselves in a recession or in a downturn, is to really invest in our skills. So good on you for being here to invest in your skills. So if you're going to take any screenshots, please use our hashtags as well. We'd love you to share this on Instagram and Facebook and whatever channel you're on. Share about Do It in Durham. So we're excited. Do It in Durham is really about growing our entrepreneurship community here. So I also want to thank our sponsors. Without them, this would not be possible. And today I'd love to introduce Anna. Yes, here's our sponsors. Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
And today I'd love to introduce Anna Pautassi from Dreaming Big Lifestyle. We're excited to have her speak today on attraction marketing. And so, if you have questions, please put them in the chat box. If you want to chat with each other in the chat box, feel free to do so as well. I'm sure Anna will also just give some instruction and questions and ask information from you as well. But yes, use this as an opportunity for yourself to network. Some of you probably know each other quite well. And BACD, by the way, is one of the premier sponsors of this. So we were the original brainchild of coming up with the Do It in Durham week. So we are the lead coordinator. We manage it. We bring it all together. We get all the partners working with us. So it's a wonderful opportunity and honor for us to do that. And if you need help with your business, starting and growing, we can help you with that. So please reach out to us. Anna, now over to you. The best part is here.
Yay. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Friday to be here and out of your week. I always appreciate when people do that because it's hard. Like we all know as business owners, you have a lot going on in your plate. So to take the time, even if it's 30 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, it makes a difference in your day. And I know I don't want to bore you with a whole bunch of filler content. This is just going to be all the information I can share with you so that you can go and implement this into your business as soon as we're off this presentation. So let me just click here. I always like to over deliver. So the first thing is I have a free download for anyone that's here that would like to kind of take advantage of this. It has some overviews of today's presentation, which I believe you will get the presentation later on. It will be mailed by Teresa, I believe, later on today once we're done. But if you want an overview recap, this is a great resource you can download. I don't know if Teresa, if you can share this in the chat for people to click on the link. Is that possible?
I will. I'll just grab it off the presentation.
Okay, perfect. I've also included in there some sections with questions so you can get clarity on your ideal client, which I will talk about in a little bit, as well as some social media tips and ideas to help you with this. So you can go ahead and grab this. This is completely free. Just fill in your information. You'll get it in your inbox within a few minutes. Okay, so a little bit about me before we start the presentation. Just because you're here, I want to get to know you. If you would like to share some information about your business, what it is that you do, your business name, even your Instagram handle in the chat, that will be amazing. You guys can network in that way, and then I can also connect with all of you. So I was actually born in Argentina, but I've lived in Canada most of my life. I am bilingual, but again, since I lived in Canada most of my life, English is kind of my go-to language now, which is amazing. But I share this with you because a lot of people come to North America to start the American dream. And I want you to know that it is possible. You are all here as entrepreneurs with your own businesses. So the fact that you've been able to do that, despite of your background, is just an amazing accomplishment. I started my business in 2020, so during the pandemic, and I took it full time this year. And it has been an amazing roller coaster. Love every second of it. I am a business coach and a marketing strategist. I've been in the marketing world for over 10 plus years, and I focus on helping small business owners find clarity and focus, basically just helping them simplify their business as much as possible through marketing that they actually want to do and mindset work, because as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of things that come up that kind of trip us a little bit, and it's all our mind sometimes playing game with us. So that is what I do. Now, enough about me. Let's get right into this presentation. Attraction marketing and how to have your business run 24/7 without you having to be online. The thing is that we live in a digital world, which is amazing because it means that anything you share out there is out there for a very long time. A very, 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 very long time. I'm pretty sure I could still Google my MySpace account, which I don't think anyone uses or even really exists anymore. But that's how long things last on there. But we start a business to have time freedom while also scaling to levels that maybe right now we can't even see what that next level looks like, but we know that it's possible. So how do we actually scale without having our calendars being completely full? And we still want to bring in more clients, right? Like, how do we do that? That is what we are going to talk about today. So, you know, when someone walks into a room and everyone just stares at them, and you're like, whoa, who is that? Who are they? Well, your brand has the possibility to do that too. It can turn heads. So how does that happen? Well, your content does it for you. This happens online in a few ways. Your social media is a vibe, like the consistency and the style of posts that you share. You're always talking about certain topics. It creates a brand, but in the streets, I guess we call it a vibe. So it creates a vibe and people are attracted to that. You're relatable. There's something that you're sharing on there that people relate to you. There's this term in business called niching down, like finding exactly what it is that you want to focus on. And the thing with that is that we aren't just one thing as people, as business owners. As a business, as an organization, we aren't just one thing. So there has to be a part of you that someone relates to. And when they relate to it, they keep coming back for more. They keep turning their heads every time a post comes up. People are talking about your business offline. When people talk about your business offline, what are they doing? They're trying to find you online. Like, I heard so-and-so, Anna mentioned this business. I need to go Google it. And you have a fun energy. People are attracted to fun people. You could be walking down the hall and see a whole bunch of people right now having a party, and you're like, what's going on? I want to be invited to that. Your brand has the potential to do that. So today we are leaving behind chasing down clients, not knowing what content to share to get people interested in what you offer, having to show up every single day to get prospects and sales. We're leaving all that behind. And what we're walking away with is effortless to get a client on a random Tuesday, sliding into your DMs, clear idea of what to post on social, what to send in emails or place in your next flyer. Today, I'm specifically talking about social media, but the strategies that we are going to discuss can be translated into other aspects of marketing. Online, meaning email, or offline, like flyers and things that you do out there. And we're also going to be creating content that calls in clients long after you've posted them. You know, social media has a shelf life, but I go like this with shelf life because there is one and it's good for you to know it. But on that same note, someone can go to your profile and start scrolling and all of a sudden they're looking at posts from 6 months ago. So leaving behind the chase and embracing the attraction. The first thing we need to do is get clear on your power and energy. Standing in your power is staying true to what you believe instead of letting the outside source affect you and put you into a defensive survival mode. So the first thing that we need to do is a little bit of mindset work, because no matter what you're putting out there, if you don't believe that it's going to work for you, it's not going to work for you. If you are doing dancing reels because they're trending, but you absolutely hate to dance, it's not going to work for you because you're letting the outside sources dictate what you should be doing instead of aligning yourself to who you are and what you find fun. So then you're out there dancing on a reel, but you yourself are not having fun. And then people are like, what? This looks awkward. I don't want to look at this. And sometimes awkward dancing is relatable. I will say that. So for example, everyone right now is talking about the recession. Is it a real thing? Yeah, everyone's talking about it. financially, like all these experts are talking that it's going to happen. So what you can do is launch a product or service you don't actually like based on the fear of the recession, because you want to get certain income and lock certain things in. But if you dislike this service, it's going to actually be hard for you to get those clients because you don't really want to do this. You don't really want to sell this. Or you have the option to kind of stand in your power here, that what you enjoy doing will bring you success regardless of the recession. Because when you love what you do, people notice and people are attracted to that because they feel your energy of excitement around it. That's you standing in your power, in that belief that things get to work out regardless. So we're leaving behind the chase, embracing the attraction. We're going to do a little bit of work here today, because one thing that I like to do in my presentations is that if you're here and you're taking your time out of your day, let's actually do some of the work now. So it's not something that you absorbed as much as you could, you put it on your to-do list to look at later, and you kind of forget about it. I'm guilty of that. So we're going to do a little exercise here. We are going to get clear on you, what makes you unique. If you are an organization, you can look at this as your business and what makes your business unique. So I have a couple questions here. If you have a notebook, piece of paper, whatever that looks like, just write it down. If you have any questions, you want examples, please just type it in the chat. Happy to answer those throughout the presentation. So the first thing I want you to do is write 10 things that make you unique. These could be things like your education, past job experiences you've had, maybe lessons you've learned while you have been traveling, lessons you've learned from things that weren't necessarily successful within your business. What are 10 things that make you unique? And then this next question, I know some of you are still writing, but I also don't want to keep you here forever. The next question is, how would you describe your business to a friend? I love this question because the way that you communicate your business to a friend is a little bit different than sometimes how we show up on social media, thinking that people already know a lot about our business. And it's one thing to show up on social media thinking to yourself, my followers are geniuses. No matter what I put there, they understand. That's an amazing mindset. But it's another for you to go on there and sell something once, talk about it once, and then not talk about it forever. And then expect sales to just sort of come in, but your audience doesn't necessarily know too much about it. So when you describe something to a friend, you're doing it in a way that's very conversational. You're doing it in a way that's very relatable. So how would you describe your business to a friend? And then what are 3 feelings you want your business to activate in people? I hope no one gets tripped up by this question. I want you to think, for example, Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola. I'm not going to deny it. And one thing that they sell really well is community and family. I actually just saw one of their new commercials the other day. I still watch TV. And it was all about community. It's this commercial, and it's people all over the world, and they're all sitting down at a picnic table, eating, drinking Coca-Cola, and the whole thing is literally connecting family. So what feeling are you trying to evoke with that? This family connection, this community, this feeling of being a part of something, of being accepted. That's the feeling that they're selling. And then many of you, if you've had your business for a year, 2 years, longer than that, you probably already have your mission statement. So question number 4 might be something that you already know, which is great. But what your mission statement is 1 to 2 sentences, and it explains who you do, what you do for, who do you help, what is it that you do, and what makes you different. This allows you to kind of create a North Star for yourself. If you know this really well, you now have a North Star that you can kind of create any content around. You figured out what makes you unique, what it is that you want to happen when people come across your brand, your business, your organization, right? So this North Star, if your content aligns with this, you're golden. You're golden because you're building brand recognition. People are following along. People are attracted to what you're putting out there naturally because within the first couple of things that you share, they're already like, I totally understand this person. I totally feel this way. I get what they're here to do. I want to stick around for the ride and see if I can join them. The next thing we need to get clear on to be this head turner brand is your client. This is your market research. If you have been in business for a while, think about your clients when you're answering this question. If you haven't been in business for too long, that is totally fine. You can still answer these questions. And the way that you can do that, the way that I tell my clients to do this when they're starting off their businesses, is to think about why it is that they want to offer this service. Because I'm sure that there's a part of them that was in the solution as to why they started this business. Meaning, I started business coaching because I myself benefited from it. And I knew that there was a gap, and I knew what kind of job I had at that moment that therefore led me to need this service of coaching. I knew where I was spending my time on social media, which is where I would have seen someone promoting their services for business coaching. Maybe you've created a product. Maybe you created a mug, and you created this mug because all the ones out there are so generic and yours is extremely unique, and you wanted something that is not only a mug, but it's almost like a decor piece in your kitchen. So you can think about yourself, whatever it is that you're selling, it's for a reason. It's because it somehow relates to you and you have noticed a gap, or it's just, I haven't seen this out there, or the way that I do this is different. So you can kind of answer it as if you were the client, if you haven't already had clients. So what kind of job do they have? It's good for you to know this, because then when you're putting content out there, and let's just say you want to relate it to a job, and you know that your clientele is still working from home, then you need to make sure that what you're putting out there kind of speaks to that versus commuting to an office. Where are they spending the time on social media? Maybe you're targeting parents and where they are is on Pinterest, but you're not on Pinterest. So maybe that's an avenue you need to explore. What type of things are they searching for? Social media right now has evolved into a great tool for searching. So for example, you have Google. Everyone is aware of Google and the fact that you can go on there, type something in, you search something up. Instagram now has that capability. Before, it used to just be through hashtags. Now Instagram reads the content and the visuals, everything that's going on in your social media, and they can serve those posts to people without the hashtags. That's why the hashtags aren't as relevant. The hashtags are more so now for you to help Instagram understand it a little bit more, what it is that you're posting. But what are people searching for? Are they searching specific words? If they are, those words should be within your content that you're sharing. What's the favorite restaurant that they go to? Maybe they're always at Milestones and you're talking about being at a hotel lobby restaurant. There's a disconnect. They won't relate to that. What hobbies are they doing? These last two are my favorite. What are they struggling with right now? And what is it that they desire? This allows you to create the transformation, get real clear on what the transformation is. And what are they struggling with right now? A lot of the times, that is what they buy. We as society, unfortunately, are more likely to buy painkillers than we are to buy the vitamins. The painkillers meaning what you're struggling with. So it's like, if you're struggling with this, I have your solution. The desire is, do you want to live in a mansion? I can help you get there. I can show it to you. I'm a real estate agent. You probably wouldn't do it how I just said it, but that's an example I'm sharing with you. And again, what words are they using? You might be using the word real estate and they're using the word house or home. So if they're using those words, you need to be using those. Again, this goes back to the searching. If they're searching like houses near me and you're putting real estate properties near me, there's a disconnect. You want your client to look at your stuff and go, wow, they totally get me. It's like they're in the room with me right now. And everything you do is compounding. You're always compounding your efforts. Everything you do compounds. The work you have created in the past can still be seen today. Yes, things have a shelf life. We're not going to deny that. But a new post could lead to someone scrolling through months of your posts. You could reshare an old post or an old reel or whatever into your stories. And now it's not an old thing anymore. And you don't need to be innovative. I like to mention this because I feel like on social media, if you're not hopping on the trends early enough, meaning you actually do have to be online 24/7 to figure out what the trends are, or you're not coming up with unique things, and then there's no point for you to be on social media. When in reality, that's not the case because people retain information differently. So you may have done a reel in January that did really good and people really engaged and commented with whatever the concept was that you shared. And now you can translate that into a post or a carousel because the people that absorb the reel and the video format of that information, great. But there's a whole audience out there that may not absorb that information in the same way. They may not absorb it through video. So you can go back, and this is actually a great tool for your analytics. Anyone here that has a business account on Instagram or any social media platform that they're on, if you look at your analytics, you'll be able to see what things were doing really good 3 months, 4 months, last year. And then you can go, okay, is this still something that aligns with my business and with my ideal client? Yes, it does. How can I convert this and repost it? A lot of the times, if it is something that you posted a year ago, you could probably just revamp it a little bit because your look might have changed and post it without really putting anything new on there. I don't want you to feel like you cannot show up because you don't have anything new to share. We are constantly growing as humans and our businesses constantly grow as well. So you always have content to share. It might be, for example, money mindset. You're constantly talking about money mindset. When you were talking about it in January, the entire month, you're like, well, I've already said everything. Maybe you've learned some stuff now that you can share. Maybe there's things back then that you can elaborate on now because you also have new followers. You also have new people coming to your social media, to your website, to wherever it is that you are online. The first thing I do back in the day used to be if you saw a company you wanted to get in touch with, you would call them. Now it's you try to find them online. And if they're not online or if their website is outdated, you're like, I don't know if they're still in business. Social media, truly, how I see it, is not only a lead generation source, but it's a way for people to know that you are still in business, that you are active, that you're actively selling, that your doors are still open. And just by having that creates attraction. Now, if you know who you are, what makes you unique, and who your client is, that's all you need to attract them into your world. But I don't want you to spend an hour every single day working on your social media, and I'm sure you don't either. So I want to break this down so that you spend 2 to 3 hours creating content that could last you 3 weeks and much longer than that, because some of these things do have a very long shelf life. Okay. Visually, this might look a little chaotic, so bear with me. I did my best to simplify it. So we're going to start over here on the left-hand side. So let's say that you enjoy creating videos. Videos are your thing. You love it. So you create one video that's 5 minutes long, 3 to 5 minutes long for YouTube. Done. You're on one platform. Then from this video, you create 3 to 4 short videos. So what that is you're not recording anything new. You're just taking that long video and looking at certain sections that you think are key messages and cutting out those sections. Now you can share them as reels on Instagram, as TikTok videos. You can also post them on Pinterest. And you can also post them as YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts, if you haven't heard of those, is a new format that's very similar to Reels and TikTok in the sense that it's vertical, and I think they're up to 60 seconds max. Right? Okay. From that 5-minute video, we're going to go back a little bit. From that 5-minute video, you can choose 6 key concepts and write 6 posts. 2 to 3 of them can be regular posts, meaning like one image and a caption. And then 2 to 3 can be carousel posts so that people actually have to slide through and see them all. And then you can take these 6 posts and you can put them on Instagram, you can put them on Facebook, you can put them on Pinterest, you can put them on LinkedIn. What you can do with your original 5-minute video is also get 2 to 3 sound bites from it, sound bites being just the audio, and you can put it over B-roll. B-roll is just visuals. So it could be a visual of you walking by the water. And then the sound bite, the sound, is whatever concept it is from this video. And then you can, again, post it as a reel on Instagram, post it on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Pinterest. And then you can also take that video that I'm sure you wrote some sort of script for and turn it into a blog post. What will take you the longest is doing that 5-minute video. Everything else, because the content is already somewhat created, you're just editing. You're just putting your phone away and you're focusing on creating these things. And now you have a lot of content, and it's not going to be repetitive because people consume information differently, because people aren't necessarily following you on every single one of these platforms. The thing is too, that if you do have a team, that means that you as a business owner, if you want to be the face of it, you can record the video and then just tell your team, this is what needs to come out of it. And they can do the work for you. You just offload it so much. If you don't have a team and you have to do it yourself, you're still cutting down because now you're not on social media every single day figuring out what to post and what to talk about. It's already done for you. And a lot of these things, I think 90% of these can be pre-scheduled. So you don't even have to be worried about posting them. You just go on there and engage with people and you build your community. So let's talk a little bit about the posts that convert clients. What social media accounts want is for people to stay on their social media. What that means is that Instagram really values when people are engaged in your profile and going through stuff. The reason for that is because they are on Instagram. They haven't left Instagram. Same with TikTok, YouTube, all of these. What that is that they want to serve ads. And the only way they can do that is if they have people on their platforms looking at stuff. So Instagram values recency, meaning posting a lot. Does that mean that if you're not posting every day, you're not going to be successful? Absolutely not. It does not mean that. It also values relationships and interests. Is your stuff interesting and are people engaging with it? They want people to engage because if they're engaging, they're sticking around. YouTube values watch time. So if you have a video on there that's 20-minute long and people are only watching the first 30 seconds, the average of that time, not beneficial to you. It might be better for you to create videos that are 30-second long because you know people are watching 30-second long videos on your YouTube channel. And TikTok values authenticity and attention span. So on TikTok, you'll see that the ones that are trending are like really cool sounds and people doing really funky things with those sounds and how it relates to their business and organization. So for your content ideas, here are some things that you can incorporate into your social media posting. So you want to share things that are valuable, like educational. You know, like when I started my business, because I'm a business coach, I could share something that says, when I started my business, these were some of the roadblocks that I faced, and this is how I overcame them. That's valuable because I'm sharing with them, I see you, I was you, and these are the things that helped me. Also makes it relatable. So with one post, I just kind of checked off 2 things there. Building a community. So posting something that's engaging, meaning people are going to comment. Maybe you ask a question on one of your posts, people actually respond. Building trust, that's very important. So if you're a business owner that hasn't shown their face on their social media in the last 2 weeks, please show your face. especially now that we're heading into buying season is what I'm going to call this next, like from now until the end of the year. It's like buying season. People are more likely to buy from you if they know who you are. Like, I made an impact in Anna's life today. And social proof, are other people buying? If your product base, this is you showing packaging orders. If your service base, this is saying like X amount of things, consultations booked, X amount of sessions booked, or, you know, like I have a couple of spots open. Today, I met with one of my clients without, you know, still being confidential in what you're sharing what you're sharing. But today I met with a client and, you know, I've actually met with 4 clients this week. And one of the common themes that kept coming up is this. So let me show you some tips about this that you can implement right now. One thing that I forgot to mention in the last one is that having fun is the key here. The more fun you have, the more people are related to it. If you know your audience loves hockey, I recently went to a hockey game. My audience, unfortunately, I don't think are huge hockey fans, but if they were, I would exploit that I went to a hockey game. And I would be putting up stories with engaging stickers, you know, who do you think is going to win? Or how awesome is it to be here? Do you want to be here too? Things like that, because I know my community is going to engage with that because they're also huge hockey fans. So what you can also do on your social media is create posts that are like a funnel. If you're not familiar with the term funnel, what this is, for example, is if you have a download on your website that people can put in their information and download, they will then be sent to an email funnel. And what that looks like is they get one email with whatever it is, a free download. Then they get a next email with like, thank you, here's some additional tips that relate to that download. Then they get another email that's like, here's a discount for joining my world for this service or product. And then another follow-up, blah, 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 blah. It's like a funnel of emails. They have now entered the funnel. And what that does is it creates a hot lead. Right now, social media is like the cold calling. You know, when people are sliding into people's DMs, it's like cold calling if you haven't already built a relationship, which is why it's so important for you to build relationships. So what you can do is actually create a funnel with your posts. And not necessarily your posts. I have written posts here, but you can do this in your stories. You can do this in your blogs. You can do this anywhere in the digital world. So you would do 1 to 3 posts, because we don't want to be on social media all the time, and you can pre-plan and schedule all of these. Post something that's relatable to your offer without mentioning it. So if you're launching mugs, for example, these 1 to 3 posts would be like, maybe you having your coffee in the morning and saying like, wow, the mugs really light up my day, or showing your place setting if you were to have people over for coffee or tea or something like that, where it's like, it's kind of hinting that you're very into mugs, but people don't really know why. And then you actually start teasing, I have something really cool coming up. I have this really unique product coming up. Just got the last design details, just set this up. I'm so excited to launch this soon. And then you launch it. People are like, whoa, this actually makes so much sense. I'm like, that's why she was sharing stuff about her coffee. People are watching your stories, and the ones that aren't, they're going to come to your profile. Let's just say you put a reel out there and people see it, and then they go and check out your profile, because if they like the reel, they're going to come and check out your profile. The habits that you have are most likely the habits that your ideal client has. So they're going to go check out your profile, and all of a sudden they're seeing all this content that connects. It's like a puzzle piece. They're like, oh, this totally connects.
Anna, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
There was a question a little bit earlier on, but I think it also relates just to this. Krista asked, how do you know what words your clients are searching? You know, you were talking about analytics and insights, and, you know, maybe you can share some light on, you know, how do we find that out?
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I don't have the chat open because it kind of takes over my screen.
That's okay. Thank you. I'm happy to look after it for you.
Okay, fantastic. So how do you know what your clients are saying? Again, I actually just kind of mentioned this. It's like what your habits are most likely the same habits that your ideal client has, because you've developed a service or product knowing that there's a necessity for it. So what are the things that you're searching? The other thing you can do is look at your competitors. So if you find a competitor, let's just say you find a competitor that has like 1 million followers, they somewhat do or exactly do the same thing you do, doesn't matter. You can actually look at their posts and look at the comments. What are people commenting? What kind of words are they using? And that's a really good tool for you to see what words they are using, because now you're like, okay, everyone's like really associating with this post, with this reel, with this content that they shared. What are the words in it? Or everyone's commenting and phrasing things in this way, using this word. You can even click on some of those profiles if they're not private and check out their posts and see what they're sharing, check out their stories, see how they're talking about stuff. It's about doing a little bit of research. And then what you can always do after you launched an offer is do a giveaway. I like doing giveaways when you partner with another organization. And the reason for that is because this is actually called borrowing people's audiences. So what you're doing is, let's just say you have 1,000 followers and you partner with someone that has 1,000 followers and you do a giveaway together. Now your audience for this one thing has doubled because now you're targeting 2,000 people. And it's also a lot more fun to do things with others, especially if you're a solopreneur. So this is a little bit of a funnel that you can implement into your social media that allows people to, again, create that puzzle piece of what it is that you do, what it is that you sell. One thing that you want to get very clear on your social media is, do people understand what I do? And do they get that it's working? So do they understand what it is that you do? And do they see that it's working? Working would be things like testimonials, mentioning that you have people booking things, showing that it's working for you too. So even if you sell mugs or a product, showing that you're using it, that's social proof. If you can do those two things on social media, you're golden. Everyone's attracted to you because they understand what it is that you're doing. So they automatically know, like, I need to follow this page because I know at some point I'm going to need something and they're the people I want to go to. Or they are automatically like, yes, money. Let's work together. So how do you show up on social media to move the needle in your business? You want to build a community. Since we have been virtual for quite a few years now, networking events are not as common. I know this week there was a couple, so I hope many of you were able to go to these in-person ones. I think it's great when you can connect to people in person. But I want you to kind of view your social media as a networking event. Every time you are on there, you're engaging with people. You're building your network. You're building that community. And if you're not engaging with people, you can't really expect them to engage with you. This is why it's so great to have your social media kind of mapped out in advance, pre-scheduled. So the recency is happening on its own, and all you're focused on is building this community. You're commenting on people's posts. You send them messages because they posted about a mug and you're like, that is a beautiful mug. Where did you get it from? I need to know. This isn't selling. People don't want people in their DMs selling them. Unless you've built a relationship and the conversation naturally leads to that. Because in all honesty, they're watching you. If you're already in each other's DMs, they're already watching what you're already doing. Interacting with their stories. If you see them post something on there that's like a sticker or a slider, engage with that. Again, do the collaboration giveaway, or you can do even a live with another account. That's the same concept as borrowing their audience. The other thing you do want to do on social media is sell. You know, everyone knows that you have a business. It's why they're following you. So don't be afraid to sell. And make sure you mention it more than once. It takes 21 touch points for someone to actually understand what it is that you're selling and if it's for them. So don't be scared to talk about it. Talk about the pain points that you solve. This is the pain that you're experiencing, and I know how to solve this for you. This is what you desire. This is what my business can provide. This is the transformation I offer. These are some testimonials. of other people that have seen the success, that have purchased my products. There's different ways to sell, and you don't have to be selling all the time on Instagram. If you're on other platforms, let's just say you also have an email list. If you send out an email selling, check it off. You did your work for the day. Now, if you are a go-getter, you can sell every single day on social media. And people will not be turned off by it. And if they are, they were never going to buy from you anyway. So do you really want them cluttering your social media space? That is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sure I see that there's 33 messages in the chat. So I am going to open that up. Teresa, if there's any questions in there that you want to ask or any right now, please share them. I'm happy to stay a little bit longer and answer any questions you may have. As a thank you, anyone that's here today, I am offering a 1-hour coaching session for $75. I don't offer this publicly, so please do not share it. But if you do want to book it, this is the link, and this takes you to my calendar, and you'll be able to book a session with me, and we can talk more about your goals, where your business is right now, and where you want to take it. If there's things that you want to do before the end of the year, how do we make that happen so that you're not starting January like from scratch? So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm just writing this link into the chat box. 1 second. Big lifestyle 60 min. Hopefully that's correct. Good. Here's another question from Krista. In fact, I was going to ask this question as well. Is taking them through what the launch funnel is, and then is this rough, your website and email campaign? Krista, you can probably unmute yourself and ask a little bit more what you're explaining. Thank you.
Thank you. So I understand the concept Anna was describing in funneling. I guess my question is more like technical, right? Like how to do that. What platforms are you using? For example, my business right now is on Instagram and I have a website. So
okay.
I'm in the business of, for example, like what I would like to do is offer a meditation to my clients or those who are on my Instagram page or website. So when you're saying download, how would they access a download? Is that through my website? Like, where is that download, that file saved? Like, I'm just trying to understand what you're describing. Like,
yeah, no problem. So your funnel and your situation is this meditation something that they're buying or a freebie?
It would be a freebie. Like, I think the way you were describing it, you would download it and then they would get an email and then it would create that funnel to, I don't know what.
Yeah. Okay. So what would happen is on your social media, you're going to promote this freebie. What you're going to do is either on your website, or if you have Flowdesk or MailChimp or any of these email platforms, that's sort of where your funnel is going to happen in one of those email platforms. So what will happen is you're going to set up a lead form, meaning like they're going to type in their name, their email, whatever it is that they need.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you need in order to follow up with them if you wanted to.
Where's the lead form though? That's what I'm trying to visualize what you mean by that.
So MailChimp has
Okay.
it's also
MailerLite also has them, I think. Like, and you can do it for free with MailerLite and MailChimp.
Yeah.
What is it called?
MailerLite. I'll put it in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your website will most likely also have like a form, like a contact form that you can put together. But the thing with that is that it's not going to be connected to anything that's just automatically sending out the emails. You would probably have to do it yourself, which I suggest you avoid because it might get really time consuming. So you talk about your freebie, you put this form together on MailChimp or wherever, people input their information and they automatically are sent into your email funnel. Your email funnel, the first one will look like, hi, here's your free download, or here's your free meditation. Then the next one, these are all automatic and you can actually set time in between them, meaning like this will not go out until 3 days later or 4 days later or whatever. And then the next one is going to be something like, hey, I really hope you enjoyed that meditation. Like, you know, here's some additional tips on how you can make that better. And then if you have a service that you offer that's related to this, for example, maybe you're a yoga instructor and you want to get them into your yoga classes, that's when the third email would be like, hey, I don't know if you saw, but I offer blah, 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 blah yoga. And because you're part of this list, you get $20 off. Click here to purchase.
Okay.
So your funnel is like, come into my world.
Right.
And now that you're in my world and you already know what I like, or you already understand me, we're really relating on something. Yeah. This is how we can continue working together.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that's helpful. I'll look into those MailChimp and the other one that Teresa mentioned. That's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Benny mentioned, is the freebie just a free PDF download or an actual product or a service? I guess that's up to you what you want to give away for free to entice those customers in, right?
Yes. So it's up to you. Depends what your business is. So if you are product based and let's just say you sell mugs, I'm very onto the mugs right now, but maybe it's like you get a free spoon. That's your freebie. Or I know some companies were doing, those like
Pop-ups, pop
pop
sockets.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
yes, for your phone. And because I guess those are relatively inexpensive. You don't want to, if it's a physical product, you don't really want to give anything that's super expensive. What I have done sometimes for my freebie is like book a 15-minute free coaching call virtually, because I can give away 15 minutes to help someone.
Right, good. Any other questions, anybody? You're welcome to unmute yourself. I'll give you a couple of minutes and we can go from there. I think we've come to the end. I want to say thank you. Please know there's 3 more events you can sign up for. We'd love to have your participation in those events. Anna, thank you so much. This was very, very useful, very important information. People have all said it was very useful as well. I did put her links, Anna's link, in the chat box. If you want, you're welcome when you're in the chat box to click on it. It will open on your browser and you can come back to it later as well. So again, thank you so much, Anna. Really, really appreciate it. Have a good weekend, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.